Next game on the list, New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys. Really, honestly, an interesting matchup. Dallas can't stop anybody, and New York can't score points. It's the classic movable object versus stoppable force, or whatever it is. I know that's the opposite of what's usually said. But New York Giants, man, their offense is so bad. Dallas's defense is so bad. Conversely, I think New York Giants, their defense has played actually pretty well against everybody they've played against. They've played some pretty decent teams. I mean, the Rams, the Steelers, they've done pretty well. So the defense is the strength of this team, but their offense is just brutal. Dallas, meanwhile, their offense is scoring well. They put up too many. They put up too many of their points in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott really kind of disappeared, in my opinion, in the third quarter, but came out with a vengeance. You can kind of start Dallas Cowboys every week, but let me hit you with the projections here. Look, I don't have anybody worth starting. Darius Slayton at this point I have as a start grade computer-wise. He's going to get a couple of attempts behind the Dallas defense, so okay, you can play him. If you have better options in fantasy, I would take the better options, the safer options, just because Giants have been so bad. But daily fantasy, I think you could definitely integrate Slayton. Freeman will be better. He did about what I thought he would do, which is kind of double his snap count. He was more integrated into the passing game. Remember, everybody, he's only been with the franchise there for about a week and a half. He will continue to grow and get better. I think he's risky this week, but it's Dallas, so go ahead and play him. He'll get some catches, I think. Dallas, on the other hand, I don't know if I have a single sit here. Dak Prescott's a start, even against a tougher Giants defense, in my opinion. Cooper, I think you can stop. You can sit Gallup. CeeDee Lamb is the guy there. David, feathering your cap there. I think you've been saying that for weeks. Great job. Dalton Schultz, we talked about him last week. I actually had him, thanks to the cancellation and Jonnu Smith not playing. I had Dalton Schultz projected as a top 10 tight end, and he was like number 3 in the Sunday games, so good for him. Maybe a daily fantasy, you're looking for a cheap guy, Cedric Wilson, but I'd probably stay away personally. Anyway, take it away, David.
Yeah, do you remember at the beginning of the season when we were so excited to draft 3 Dallas wide receivers?
Mm-hmm.
And your guy was Michael Gallup, my guy was CeeDee Lamb, so I'll take a little bit of a victory lap on that one. Again, it's 4 weeks. We don't know how it's going to play out. But right now, CeeDee Lamb is playing in the slot. Yeah. He's facing the easiest cornerback matchups pretty much every week. He's getting the highest percentage targets. Michael Gallup has become a glorified deep threat. He's got, through 4 weeks, he's been outscored by Dalton Schultz in fantasy.
Yeah.
In 4 weeks, he's got 24 targets. He's got 13 of them for 275 yards and a touchdown, which you can see is over 20 yards per catch. He's being used as a glorified chuck-it deep threat. That's total 46.5 fantasy points through 4 weeks, about 12 per game. Dalton Schultz, on the other hand, 28 targets, that's 4 more than Gallup. 18 receptions, that's 5 more than Gallup. 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, 49.2 fantasy points. Now, am I using this to dismiss Michael Gallup? Absolutely not. We've already seen Michael Gallup have a big blow-up week. He's going to be usable. He's got a crazy high ceiling. Dalton Schultz, though, guys. Dalton Schultz, guys. He is outproducing Michael. He's the Dallas wide receiver 3 right now. He is startable.
It's not a fluke.
Not just 12-team leagues, 10-team leagues. He needs to be rostered everywhere and anywhere right now. He needs to be started in just about any matchup that's not terrible. So, I mean, am I giving up on Michael Gallup? No. CeeDee Lamb, I mean, I'm all in on him. I posted a thing saying if someone said CeeDee Lamb was their overall dynasty wide receiver 1 right now, could you really fault them? And nobody gave me any pushback. Nobody gave me any pushback, guys. This goes to say, if you're in dynasty, you don't trade CeeDee Lamb for anything.
Yeah.
Unless someone's throwing Michael Thomas and a first round and a second, you don't trade CeeDee Lamb for anything at this point, guys. He has one more game. He could be clearly looked at as the dynasty wide receiver 1.
Yep.
On the other side, you talk about my boy, big play Slay. You say if you got better options, play the better options. You don't have a better option this week, my friends. Darius Slayton, it's time. And I talked about it last week, how I've given up on the Giants offense, how Jason Garrett is running this team into the ground. When we saw it, it runs up the gut, and it's just basic, vanilla, unseasoned chicken pass calls. It's not creative. It's not fun. It's not sexy. It's not spicy. This guy probably shouldn't have ever been offered an offensive coordinator job. He'd been a head coach for how many years before this? So I think I'm off everybody on the Giants. Everybody on the Giants, especially Devontae Freeman. One guy, look at Wayne Gallman, 6 for 45 this past week. Devontae Freeman's done nothing, 11 for 33. He averaged less than 3 yards per carry. You say he's going to get better. I don't know about that. If Wayne Gallman, these Cowboys guys, this great matchup, Wayne Gallman could possibly, there's a universe out there where he takes the job from Devontae Freeman this week. And if he does against Dallas, he's going to be a crazy, crazy waiver wire addition next week. People will be willing to trade for him if he has a big game against the Dallas Cowboys, just because that running back room is so wide open. So Wayne Gallman, he's going to go completely overlooked on waivers this week. Nobody's going to pick up Wayne Gallman. You got a spot, go stash him. See if he goes off against Dallas. Even if you don't want to keep him, you can probably trade him to a running back needy team the week after.
I think there's two ways to look at that. Like Gallman, when I watched, I think he had like one run that really kind of inflated.
6 yards.
6 yards or 6 yards per carry? 26 yards.
yards.
Yeah. And so you could look at that as well. He offers explosion. That's the glass half full. Or you could look at it the other way as like, well, he just happened to have one long run. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see it in the coming weeks. I do think that, look, the Giants, to be successful, they need to throw the ball to Devontae Freeman. That's it. So I don't know. Let me hit you with the line here, though. We got New York Giants plus 9.5 versus the Dallas Cowboys. Who do you got?
I'm going to take the Giants and the points here, just because I feel like Dallas defense is so bad that the Giants actually look good offensively this week.
This one is a toss-up for me because I don't know what we'll get. I'm going to take Dallas because I think that their offense is just – they're going to score too many points even against a tough Giants defense, but who the heck knows? I really honestly do not.
But Jason Garrett, coordinator, as much trash as we talked about him, where does he come from? Dallas.
He knows the personnel.
Hopefully he knows something. I mean, he doesn't seem to know anything else.
Yeah,
so hopefully he knows at least one thing about the Cowboys.
Yep.